It's a hot sunny afternoon. The sun shines brightly in the clear blue sky and the streets are empty, with hardly anyone to be seen. Everyone seems to be inside, under the shade where it's cool, holding a beverage of their choice. Even with the sun beating down, two enthusiastic girls, Ivania and Vernica, excitedly walk together towards Matt's house. Eventually, they reach Matt's door and call him out loud.
Hey Matt, it's us, Veronica and Ivania. We waited for you in the park, but you didn't show up and we got very worried.
Oh, thank God. Guys, I am really in a fix at the moment and I was beginning to completely lose hope.
Oh my God, what happened, Matt?
The door is unlocked. Come in and I'll explain.
Ivania and Veronica enter Matt's house to see him unsteadily walking around his living room in a definite pattern. Just as he was about to lose his footing and collapse, the children catch him to bring him to the sofa.
Thanks a lot, guys. You're the best.
But what happened?
Last night, after finishing my movie, I slept right here on the sofa, and since I woke up, I haven't been able to leave the living room. The moment I get up, I start feeling dizzy, and no matter how much I try moving straight, I always somehow end up at the same spot.
You mean you circle back to the sofa?
I wouldn't say circle back exactly, although my head is too fussy for me to actually make out how I end up back here.
The children hold up Matt and try to take him to the door. But Matt could only follow a definite path. At first, it appeared as if they were going to reach the door eventually. But without even realizing, it ended up back at the same spot.
Spirolaterals!
You learned this in class.
Spirolaterals are spiral structured designs based on a repeated series of commands using length and angles.
The simplest type of spirolateral is a square, a 90-degree angle turn with a 1, 1, 1, 1 as the sequence, but we created our spirolaterals with the sequences of 2 and 5.
Yes, Ivania. It was simple. Choose a number and write its multiplication sequence. If there is a 2-digit number, add both the digits and repeat the pattern until it stops where we started.
Right, and math symptoms are exactly the same. Let me call the doc. Hello, doctor. Yes, we need a medical assistance here at 42X Algebra Street. Yes, please be quick. Thank you.
A few minutes later, Dr. Vitti and Dr. Ira arrive at Matt's house. The two children, along with Max, explain the situation while the doctor listens and deliberate over the information.
Well, this is a very unusual case, but my best guess. Since it seems connected to natural numbers, would it be a problem with Matt's heart, or rather his cardioid? Isn't it, Dr. Ira? Let me brief them the cardioid situation. Cardioids are fascinating shapes that are studied in higher level mathematics, which use polar coordinates. But these can be generated using sequences and timetables. One way to remember the name of this shape is that notice that it kind of resembles the shape of a heart. Math's situation seems so similar.
During the course of this entire conversation, Dr. Ira was sitting on one side, carefully listening to Dr. Vitti's diagnostics until she finally gets up to speak for the first time.
Dr. Vitti, with all due respect, your diagnosis is most likely incorrect. In the 30 years of my medical career, I've seen these kind of symptoms only once before. This isn't a medical problem. It's a curse.
As soon as Dr. Ira said this, the Satan's minions appeared right out of thin air.
I can't believe a mere human actually figured it out.
Aditya, you really need to work on your spells. A magicless human saw right through you.
Well, Anna, my magic isn't, that weak. Well, but I'm confident that this human is not, ordinary, right? Right, Akshita?
Aditya is right. Hey human, how did you know it was a curse?
The infamous minions. So much like your master. I know. Because before I was a doctor, I learned magic and served in the Fractal Police.
Fractal police, you say? Have you guys heard of them?
Not really, no.
What did you do to Math?
Last night, Matt was watching a movie, Pentagram, and he was associating it with devil and black magic. But this is a secret symbol.
You are right, Captain. The pentagram is an ancient symbol used by many cultures and religious groups. It has been adopted by the Mesopotamians, Pythagoreans, ancient Greeks, mathematicians, Christians, and many more. The pentagram and the elements are important in many rituals and ceremonies. And for your knowledge, it has uses in programming too.
Also, mathematically, pentagram is a special type of polygon called a star polygon. It has a regular pentagon inside and 5 isosceles triangles with a base angle of 72 degrees. Construction of this pentagram isn't an easy task. One has to be really precise to get it right.
You're right, Akshita. Pentagram is the shape used as Christmas star. Pentacle depicts the 5 elements of the whole universe. He knows none, and that was the reason we cursed him. Ha 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 ha.
Suddenly, we heard sirens outside, and 2 men dressed like policemen entered the room, pointing their wands at the minions.
Fractal police, put your hands in the air.
Oh, so this is a practical police.
Surrender or we'll fire. Good thing you called us immediately, Dr. Ira.
Oh, how cute! Who are you guys in the first place?
He is fractal police and expert in forming an infinitely complex patterns that are self-familiar across different scales. A fractal is a never-ending pattern and are created by repeating a simple process over and over, an ongoing feedback loop.
Fractal patterns are extremely familiar since nature is full of fractals. For instance, trees, rivers, coastal lines, mountains, clouds, seashells, hurricanes, etc. And we have got Sierpinky triangle wand to take these minions down.
The Sierpinky triangle wand is one of the best, but here we need to use the 6-sided Koch snowflake wand to defeat the 5-sided pentagram.
As one of the minions was about to enchant the fractal police, the policeman Ishan fired the Koch snowflake spell and wounded the minion, which left the other minions casting their own spells. As all the chaos unfolded, the Doc and Matt sat and watched from the sidelines and were much disappointed that the fractal police were overpowered and left wounded.
Ha ha ha! You don't win against us. Our power is comparable to that of the 3 great clans combined. All hail the pentagram.
All hail the pentagram.
All hail the pentagram.
Now the situation looked bleak. Matt was unconscious. The doctors hurried to help the fractal policeman. The children sat frightened in one corner hoping for a miracle. Then a ray of hope in the form of a spiral-shaped portal. Through came 3 people, richly dressed in white robes, and emerged.
Minions, you dare to use our powers in the earth and land without our permission?
Yeah, we don't take permission from people who look like elves from Lord of the Rings. We don't care if you're from one of the great clans.
Arrogant minions. You forget why we're a great clan. We are the only clan to have survived the 3 great wars and have been a part of the ruling class since spirals were constructed using the sides of right-angled triangles.
The good old days. of square roots and the spiral. Square root spiral in which the square roots of all natural numbers have a clear defined spatial orientation to each other.
First constructed by by a mathematician who lived in the 5th century BC. He proved that all the square roots of the natural numbers from 3 to 17 are rational, except those which are perfect squares.
And to construct a spiral, Pythagoras' theorem sets right in. Make a right angle with the sides of the same length, and the hypotenuse gives the square root. Repeat the process, and a mighty spiral emerges in all its glory.
While the proud clansmen were in their nostalgic flashback of the clan's victory days, one of the minions launched a surprise attack and wounded one of the clansmen, rendering her unable to fight. The other 3 minions collectively attacked the second clanswoman, who put up a fight but couldn't withstand the power. The last clansman had nowhere to run. 4 minions were casting their strongest spells. Victory was guaranteed. Or so they thought.
You proud clan members, so obsessed with yourself. You're all bark and no bite.
All 4 minions were about to launch a collective attack at the last remaining clansman. Before they could even blink, they found themselves on the ground, slightly dazed. When they finally managed to look up, they saw a heavenly creature draped in golden robes levitating above them with a grin on his face.
Who's this guy?
I am the Golden Ratio, the strongest warrior in the entire history of the Spiral Clan. My power is so profound that it can be seen everywhere. Anything ranging from plants to art to entire galaxies has my power instilled in it. Minions, Goldies.
And with those 2 claps, the Golden Ratio's 2 henchmen, the mini Goldies, showed up, who, to their master's disappointment, appeared to be indulged in the idle gossip.
That was hilarious. Mr. Ratio can really be a little extra sometimes.
Silence! Do I pay you in gold for you to gossip about me?
Sorry, sir, we did not think you would call us during our lunch break.
Yes, sir, this won't be repeated.
Nevertheless, I will deduct exactly 1.618 tons of gold from your salary.
You're right, Nanda, he really is a little extra.
Silence! Now do you tell these common folk about my legendary origins?
Yes, sir, you must be aware Fibonacci numbers are a never-ending sequence, starting with 0 and 1 and continuing by adding the previous 2 numbers and goes on till infinity.
The ratios of sequential Fibonacci numbers 2 by 1, 3 by 2, 5 by 3, etc. approach the golden ratio. The golden ratio is about 1.618 and represented by the Greek letter phi. In fact, the higher the Fibonacci numbers, the closer the relationship is to 1.618.
Golden Ratio then binds the minions using magic. Heals the 2 clansmen along with the fractal police and lifts the curse on Math. As Math slowly opens his eyes, he says,
"Am I dead?"
No, child, you're absolutely fine. I apologize for the heaven-like golden glow I'm emitting. Now you may watch whatever movie you want. I'll make sure no one ever curses you again.
With that, the clansmen, policemen, and doctors leave, leaving Matt alone with his friends so that you may be taught about him again tomorrow. If you are more interested to learn these, please attend Shika Mam's classes.